Okay, my name is Alessandro Santoro. I'm living in Italy in a place called Salo. It's in the province of Brescia. Brescia is the capital of the city, and there's a square place, and that's called Piazza della Loggia, square place of the time. I'm gonna show you that time traveling is possible because I have invented the first time machine in the world, and pretty soon, I'm gonna make the first time jump in history. I'm definitely sure it's gonna work because at the 3rd of September, I was at Piazza della Loggia. I'm having this idea of building this time machine for a very long time. All principles. Later will show you the basic structure of the machine itself. But at the 3rd of September, I was at Piazza della Loggia and I was thinking about my machine and when I will finish it. And I saw somebody approaching me. And actually, it was not somebody approaching me, it was me myself. A future me myself or a relative or some grandson out of the future, but he was too much looking like me and he was walking on a certain way and looking at the things that actually were important for me at that place. So that was actually the first loop in time that made me realize that pretty soon I have to do the time jump. I have to do the first machine thing. I'm gonna show you what's the principles of my time machine and how time traveling is possible. You must realize one thing, that there are actually in our whole universe only two things, and in the beginning there was just mass, a big. Now I'm talking about in the beginning the Big Bang. It was just a bunch of mass collapsing together, and there was time. So at a certain moment, that mass exploded, and in time it became the universe. So if you will consider that mass, all that energy, everything that we now have around, even yourself, as one, and you consider the time as zero, then you have only two things, 1 and 0. Looks a little bit like how a world in a computer is built up. What you're seeing now, me in a computer screen, is actually only zeros and 1. But you're seeing a whole world behind that screen. Well, that's actually the whole basis of my time machine. Now, we are moving at a certain speed in a certain direction in time to a future certain position. We have to figure out the speed and the exact direction back to the Big Bang, in fact. Then we're going back in history. Then you don't have to go, it will do it as you have the good factor, the good direction, and the right speed, which is the speed of light, and you will just have a little push in the direction and you will suddenly disappear in time. So actually, nothing can go with the speed of light, no mass, because as faster you move, as heavier you get, and it will be impossible. So actually, I must make myself weightless, and then I could travel with the speed of light. Only particles that are zero weight, like the particles that comes from the sun, the photons, they can travel with the speed of light. So what can I do then if I have mass myself and I cannot make myself? So I sent myself in a weightless version in the good direction. That's actually time traveling. So what is a weightless version? I'm gonna show it to you. It is this one. There is myself in that mirror. Only that guy there, he has no weight. It's me. It's a whole world there. Um, Everything what I have in this world, he has it there too. Only his world is there's no mass. Now, the guy in the screen that you see there, it's actually the same thing about with him. There's no mass in him as well. There it's just an image, and so if I can send him away in the good direction, it will be like entanglement. So if one particle, that's me here, twist, the other one which is sent away, doesn't matter where he is at the moment, he will go with you. So my thoughts will be in his head also. I just have to send him away with the speed of light, and you will go with him. To do that, you need a couple of things. I will show them to you later. Crystal, and this is actually the whole clue of everything. Without this, it's impossible. It's a little piece of gold, little as tiny as this is. How it's made, it's actually I keep that for myself, cannot tell you, but you will figure it out, because if you wouldn't figure it out, nobody would have visited me on the 3rd of September. That's actually the date that the first one next to me figured it out and came to visit me, and actually pushed me in the direction to really finish my machine. So I come back on you later tomorrow or with the machine. This is it. Okay, my setup is ready. I have here attached to the laptop computer a beamer, and it gives the projection on the wall behind me. And I figured the angle with this space simulation program. So if you look carefully, uh, then if you can see it here, it is pointed at star point booties, and there's the big void, the rouseless place where no noise is coming from, and that's should be the original position of the Big Bang millions of years ago. And so that's actually our history from everything there is. You go that direction, you go back in time. If you go a little bit higher, there you see the constellation of Swan, and that is actually where we're heading to. So if you point your light image on that direction, you're going into the future. That's the difference. I can show you how the setup is. Here is the camera, and it projects the image to the wall there. Let me see. Okay, now we're gonna set up the gate to jump through, and let's take this off. Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is. Okay. It's actually just a beam of light. But you need to do it in good position. Is the missing part of it? Carefully what happens now. in the camera you see this bunch of lights. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, almost ready now. I'm going to show you some details which are very important for the next one after me who's going to jump. Okay, have a good look here. Okay. Look at my clothes which I'm wearing. I'm going to show you them here. This is what I'm wearing. This is what I saw on 3 September at 9 o'clock in the evening at Piazza della Loggia in Brescia. The guy that was there looked exactly like me, had these clothes on that I'm wearing right now. He looked exactly like me with a little hair, bald, and he had a beard, except he had no glasses, so that was him. It was me in another body, or a relative of mine, somebody who knew my history, who knew everything about my days at the Mille Miglia, the things that I had at Piazza della Loggia, because he was looking right there. So I think it was somebody from the future who saw this movie, who did my work and made it better and did a second time jump and came to visit me on that day. That same person, or everyone who is able to do this in the future, can visit me again, let's say in the same place. Let's always take Piazza della Loggia in Brescia. Let's always take 9 o'clock, and let's have a visit around 15 December. It's a time that I think is good for me at this moment. Today it's 28 September 2016. I'm planning to do my time jump on 30 September 2016. So 15 December, 9 o'clock, Piazza della Loggia. I will see my future time traveler again. Hello. Last couple of days, some strange things happened. It has to do with my time machine, I think. It really works, and the first signs are already coming on my path. And first two things that happened was the guy that met me, well, already explained it, on 3 September, that looked just like me and walked just like me on Piazza della Loggia. And I had that feeling, I knew him, he had the feeling about me, we could not approach, we were just looking, and it's, well, that I already explained in my before films. The other day that I was beaming my camera towards booties with my light image, I heard screaming outside my windows. People encouraged me. I don't know who it was, but at the right moment they said, go on with it. Yes, yes. So actually I also think that's another time traveler. They are all from the future who are visiting back the first time jump and encouraging it without showing themselves, because that's maybe out of the law or something with time traveling. It's maybe in the future that will make up. Today, just a couple of hours ago, something very strange happened. I have no explanation for it. In my professional day life, I earn my money with making keys. So I make copy of keys, door keys, car keys, everything. Somebody asked me to make a key of her boat, his boat, a very expensive boat, a Riva boat. They are very, very expensive. They are here in Italy, a lot of them. So I searched. They had only a picture because I didn't. It was all by the phone. They sent me a picture of it, and I searched the key, the Virgin key for them, and I had only one. I remember yesterday, and I took it home and I made an appointment with the woman, and she said, "I come to bring you the key tomorrow, and then with my Virgin key, I make a copy of that key." So that happened today, and I made that key. While making it, it was finished, and I was looking at. I saw a third key of it, exactly the same. So I took one. She brought me the original one. Suddenly, there was laying on my desk a third key. So I was laying them on each other, all three of them, and they were exactly the same. So where comes a third key of a very expensive boat, which yesterday come in my life, the task to make one? Where comes a key from? So actually, I was finished with the key. I asked the woman, maybe did your husband was here before? Gave me also a key that he's laying here just on my table. No, the woman said, no, I've never been here before. This is the first time. So the only explanation that I can come up with is that I made it myself. My time machine works. I came back to this time, maybe another, and I made it before the same key, and it is somewhere still laying on the bench. Some mistake in time, some loop or something. I don't know, but if many of these strange things, upcoming days, upcoming time will happen in my life, I will all register them, and at a certain moment they will make sense. I think this is what I wanted to say. Hello, it's 30 October 2016, and this is another episode of time traveling of my time machine, which I personally think it's actually working. Well, I will explain the whole setup, what I made. I made progress another step further. Um, you see here, here's the camera. It projects a picture on the wall. Now I have on the iPhone a program. I'll show you. And it's called this app. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Star Walk. Okay. Now, whatever is on the iPhone, it's projected on the wall there. It's now flickering because. Okay. And now, in the other episode, I explained about the position of my mirror image that I'm going to send to the direction of the star constellation. Actually, what this program does, it has the universe inside. You can see all the, you can find yourself in the stars. So if you turn the camera, um, you see a position of the night sky. So with this program, you can actually accurate the right position of what's future and what's past. This is something that 20 years ago was not possible because we didn't have iPhones or programs like this, and you needed to do it by calculation, which is far not so accurate as this one. So actually, I'm now pointing it at a star about Arcturus. That's the past, because there's everything coming from. And if I will point it at Swan, that's the future. That's this direction. There we're going to. Well, now you can see on the wall that it's flickering. That's because I don't know why it's flickering. We'll solve that one moment. I think I fixed the light problem. It's just too little light. It's early in the morning. Now I'm going to show you. Camera here. So on the start program, you can switch the iPhone. It has only the universe inside. Look, now you see the stars and they are moving in the direction that I move the camera. But you can also point the camera option, and now you have actually it's filming and the position of the stars. So and now I'm going to put the camera in the position where is Arcturus, that's past, and it's all projected on the wall there, if you can see it. And now I must make sure that myself, here it is, you see, that myself comes in that image. So then my own projection of my own spirit will be in the light of the camera, in the exact position of the stars, towards the past Arcturus, and then with a little piece of gold in the middle of it that makes the frequency, my own spirit will go in as wishes into the past or into the future. That's the basis of time traveling. And on that principle, they will build a time machine once, and they will come here back to visit me. It's now 30 September 2016, according 6:25 in the morning. I'm gonna do it now. Okay, I have now it stabilized. The picture is quite good seeing. Zoom it a little bit, make it bigger. So making it smaller. Focusing. This is position. Okay. Well, what we see now is inside the iPhone here is the star program. I will switch the light off so you can see it better now. Some flickering. Now the camera is off. You can see the position of the stars. And now I put the camera on. You see the house inside the stars. And now I must go myself in the position of the camera. Then with the little piece of gold that I have here in my hand. Okay. So now you see me in the camera. There's the little piece of gold. See what happens. This is how you must do it. The gold is shaped in a form that takes your brain waves and it figures them to the point. And that point that you see there in the camera now, the point of the gold, must be focused exactly on the past point, which is Arcturus, in the neighborhood of somewhere there, or the future, the swan, that's this direction, the other side, future, it's about there. last shot that I took. When I pointed the piece of gold towards the camera, there was a strange noise coming up. You can hear it yourself around 1 minute ahead of the film. And here's some unexpected noises. So the piece of gold, which is actually gold, is actually very accurate antenna, picked up some strange noises. So I want to examine that. That's what I'm doing now. I don't hear it now. It was last time not point either, but I heard it when I played off the movie. So actually there's something in low dimension picking up. Not that I can hear with my bare eye, ears. So doing it again now. I'll play off the film. I like to if I hear something again. It's all experimenting what gold does with reflection, what sends it to, and what waves come in and go out.